Gavin, what are you doing this morning? Are you going to give Mommy 5 more minutes? Are you hyper this morning? Hyper baby? Are you a hyper baby?
I am going in for my yearly, once-a-year exam, not the gynecologist, just the regular doctor, so that I can get a prescription for pills. It's a once-a-year deal, so hopefully they won't want to do too much. I have this new health insurance, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, before I forget, I just want to tell you real quick about my visit. Normally when I go to the doctor, before this new insurance, it was just to get a prescription for some more pills. It wasn't because I was sick or anything like that. And way back years ago, before I lost all the weight, I was diabetic. So being formerly diabetic, she would always send me to the lab. And so I'm used to going to the lab anyway. So today, since we're under this new insurance, to get it paid for, you have to say you're going for your yearly exam. And during your yearly exam, you ask for your prescription refill for all your pills for a year. So it was a little different. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. I had to give a urine sample right when I walked in, which it wasn't bad. And just, this is probably going to be TMI, but they used to make you pee in a little bitty cup. Even women, that's nothing for a man. But for a woman to have to pee in a little bitty cup was horrible. So now I've noticed more and more what they've started doing is they give you that cup, but they also give you like a big, like Dixie cup. So you can use the big Dixie cup and then pour it into whatever you're going to give to the lab. So that way it doesn't run all over the place, and it's just perfect. I love it. They should have been doing that years ago. I don't know why they didn't. So anyway, you throw the big Dixie cup in the garbage, and then there you go. So anyway, had to give the urine sample. Then I went back in. She got my height, which I'm 5'4" exactly. She got my weight, which was 134. And then I showed the form that had my BMI. Oh, she got my measurement around my waist, which she said it out loud. And I do not remember what it was, or I would say, I just don't remember. Then I had to do something that I've never done with this doctor before, and that is put on a gown. I was allowed to leave on my undergarments, but I had to put on a gown just because this was a yearly exam, and for her to listen to my heart and take a look, which I said, well, she always listens to my heart anyway without putting on a gown. Well, she said to follow all the regulations, you have to put on a gown. So anyway, put the gown on. It wasn't any big deal. It was just a pain having to take all your clothes off, So anyway, then she listened. She looked at my ears. She looked at my eyes, my mouth. She listened to on my back. She listened just right in the center of my chest. And then she pushed on my stomach. And then she whacked my knees a little bit, and then my ankles, and looked, I don't know why. But then I made sure that she wrote the prescription or sent that in. They send it directly, you don't get a piece of paper anymore. They send it directly to the pharmacy. So, which I think is a good thing. That way I don't have to fool with an extra piece of paper. So she sent that to the pharmacy, and then she sent me down to the lab, and they took my blood. It was quick, painless, literally painless. And that was it. So now I'm out of there on my way home, and I'm gonna get something to eat when I get home because I haven't eaten all day. So anyway, I'll probably get the results of the blood work. It'll probably take a week, but that's okay. I don't expect anything bad anyway. So anyway, that's what you have to do in order to get your pills for the year, I guess. But I'm glad to get it over with, and I will certainly be glad to get home. I'm home from the doctor now, and look who's here to see me. It's Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin. I feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland. Mr. Rabbit. Anyway. Hi. Say hi. Say hi, party people. No, he's not going to. Anyway, this is how my bandage looks on my arm, and I'm going to remove it, and because I know you'll want to see what it looks like. Just kidding. And you can hardly even tell where that pink spot is, and right in the center. Hopefully that's in the center of the screen. She did an awesome job taking my blood. So very, very happy, glad to be home. Don't like going to the doctors. Nobody does. I forgot to say when I came in that something smelled really, really sweet. And I tracked the sweet smell down to the table and saw this bag. And only one thing comes in these kinds of bags, and that's pastries. So I looked in there, and there were donuts. It looks very, very good. I just wanted to show you, I've been getting these Ladies Home Journals for 3 months now. I actually got the April issue, this one in the middle, before I got the March issue. I got April's first, and then I received March's just a few days ago, literally. And then today, I received this one in the mail, and this one is the May issue. Kevin's coming in the door. Hello! You have your hands full. So anyway, it's weird that I would receive April and then March and then May. But whatever, I've been wondering for 3 months who's been sending me these. And I got this in the mail today, finally. It's Kevin's mother. So I will have to call and thank her. But don't you think that's weird they sent me April's before March?
I guess you paid for March. And then they sent you the current one when they got it.
And then they did the back issue?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I like them. They're really good. They're very thin. I don't know how much she paid for it. Hopefully she didn't pay a fortune because they're very thin, but they're full of stuff that I really like. So that's cool. She made dinner tonight. She made Charlie's pork tenderloins and mashed potatoes. And they look really, really good. So I showed you the magazine that Kevin's mom just ordered for us. And she actually ordered several for Ashley, too. She started like probably 3 Christmases ago. And I guess it's just as easy to renew those. And it makes for a cheap, easy Christmas gift. I mean, she gives her other things, too. But that is a great gift as magazines. And I've given magazines in the past. I enjoy getting magazines. It's something that I don't buy for myself. But I was trying to think, years ago, we used to get a slew of magazines. And we don't anymore. But like we used to get Humpty Dumpty for Ashley and Highlights. We used to get one called Family Fun. We used to get TV Guide and Entertainment Weekly. And if you look online, TV Guide, you can look at the whole TV Guide schedule online. There is really no point to TV Guide magazine anymore. Kevin got one called PC Magazine, I think it was called, and Nuts and Bolts. We got Family Circle and Good Housekeeping. And one year, my neighbor ordered one for me called Today's Christian Woman, and I absolutely loved that. I loved it enough to actually order it the next year. That was just a really good magazine, and it told good books that were coming out and good maybe movies, and it had good articles. There was just all kinds of things to look at in that magazine. So if you're a Christian woman, I would check out Today's Christian Woman, and I'm sure they have a website, and I haven't seen the magazine in years, but I know I loved it. Some other magazines that I've loved over the years are Reader's Digest. I'm sure I would still enjoy Reader's Digest if I had time for it. Guidepost. Guidepost always had a little short. Mom always kept them in the bathroom, and that might sound weird, but she always kept them in the bathroom. So like the Reader's Digest, you know, they would have like funny military stories, and they had a bunch of different sections on funny things, but I would, you know, those were things you could really read really short and get a good laugh out of them. But then in Guidepost, in like the dead center of Guidepost every month, there was a section called His Mysterious Ways, and it was something very short, and you could read it really fast, but it was always something that was like, wow, you know, that was a God thing, a total God thing. So anyway, those were neat magazines too, and I miss those. But that Today's Christian Woman, that was a really good magazine. If you wanted to read like a magazine from cover to cover, that was a good one. At least it was. That's probably been almost 10 years ago. So I don't know if it's still that good today, but it was then. And then too, not just magazines, but we used to get the newspaper. And our local newspaper, they've made it to where you can only look at like 5 articles online free each month. So that's fine. Instead of looking at our local newspaper, I'll look at the Lexington Herald Leader, which I showed you. We were passing the Lexington Herald Leader on a Sunday vlog, and I showed it to you. And you can look, as far as I know, as many articles as you want on there. And so I just choose to go to their website where everything's free. And I know it's a shame. I understand why they do it. I know that it must be a horrible time for that line of work. But as the consumer, I don't want to pay for it. So, of course, I'm going to think about what's best for me. So, but anyway, I know I've rattled on about newspapers forever. Sorry. It's just that talking about that magazine earlier and showing that to you just reminded me of how many subscriptions we used to have. Now, when Gavin gets a little bit older, I might get him Highlights or Humpty Dumpty or one of those. Another good kids magazine is called Turtle. You can look it up online. Anyway, sorry, I said I wasn't going to ramble on about those. Tonight is Tuesday, so we are going to watch Face Off, and we're going to watch Jim Henson's, it's a long name, Jim Henson's Creature Shop Creation Challenge, something really long like that. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel right after Face Off, and it has been really cool seeing them create these Muppet-like characters. So if you haven't watched that show yet, it's really good, something that the whole family could watch. So anyway, hope you had a great Tuesday, and I'll see you again soon.